And the U.S. Supreme Court has cleared a way for Texas to use its newly redrawn congressional map. This obviously deals a blow to the lower court that tried to block it, while at the same time it delivers a win for Republicans heading into the 2026 midterms. The map literally could shift several House seats to the GOP, which of course would strengthen President Trump's push to maintain control of Congress. And joining me now to discuss this and more, the Washington Stand reporter Casey Harper. Casey, thanks for being with us. Let's start with this story. Just how significant is this ruling for Texas and potentially Republicans as we head into the midterms?
Yeah, well, thanks, Jody. This decision's a major victory for Texas Republicans, no doubt about it. Those Republicans, they argued that the lower court overstepped by inserting itself into an already active election cycle. The Supreme Court, they agreed. They said the judges created unnecessary confusion and failed to present any workable alternative map. GOP leaders say the reinstated map better reflects Texas' political landscape and pushes back against what they call partisan lawsuits designed to undermine state authority. And here's what Speaker Mike Johnson said about the hearing in an interview with Tony Perkins that's going to air on their weekend program this week on Capitol Hill.
Texas followed the law. They had the right to draw a fair map that accurately reflects the population of their state. It's a deep red state, and that's what this map reflects. And the court said, yes, of course, the states have the right to do that. Now, there's a number of states in various stages of doing this same thing, some red states, some blue states. We'll see how it all shakes out at the end. I think by most analyses, our party will benefit, will net a handful of seats out of that.
Now, Democrats are, of course, criticizing the ruling, but Texas is just one of many states in a legal redistricting battle. Both Democrat and Republican-led states nationwide are advancing their own maps in moves that could reshape the House for 2026.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and I certainly encourage all of our viewers and listeners to tune in to the entire interview that Tony has with Speaker Johnson that is coming up this weekend. And by the way, for those viewing and listening, you can catch that if you have the Stand Firm app, and we will certainly also include it under the TonyPerkins.com website. So either of those options for you, but you want to catch that entire interview. Casey, there's additional news coming out of Texas involving the Ten Commandments, and now we have a host of congressional Republicans defending the Ten Commandments displays in public schools. What can you tell us about that?
That's right, Jody. So Texas lawmakers and congressional Republicans in Washington are backing this Texas law that requires every public school classroom to display the Ten Commandments. Senator Ted Cruz, House Speaker Mike Johnson, and Congressman Chip Roy led 43 other congressional Republicans in filing an amicus brief. That brief argues that the Ten Commandments are a foundational part of America's legal and historical tradition and can still be displayed without violating the First Amendment. They say the move reinforces the nation's Judeo-Christian roots. This case is now before the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which will decide whether the law stands, Jody.
Well, we're going to be having Mike Berry from First Liberty Institute a little bit later in the program to deal with this specifically. So that's a big deal. Casey, if we can switch gears on a lighter note, but we're in Christmas season. I know the national Christmas tree lighting took place. Can you share with us a little bit about that and maybe a little about the message that President Trump delivered?
Yeah, that's right, Jody. I'm one of those people who puts their tree up before Thanksgiving now, which I know is controversial. So I do love this story. And its story is this: President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump led the 2025 National Christmas Tree lighting on the National Mall. They drew a large crowd for this century-old tradition.
3, 2, 1.
You just feel the Christmas spirit, Jody. The First Lady had the honor of flipping the switch on this 35-foot red spruce tree, and the President, he focused his remarks on the holiday's spiritual significance by quoting Scripture.
This beautiful evergreen tree and reminds us of the words of Gospel of John, in him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. With the birth of Jesus, human history turned from night to day. His word and his example call us to love one another, to serve one another, and to honor the sacred truth that every child is specially made in the image of God.
The president also delivered an emotional tribute to the two recently attacked National Guardsmen, Jody, praising one who's recovering and honoring the other who died. And the president also met with their families earlier today.
Wow, that is powerful. Casey, thank you so much. We appreciate you providing these updates.